Last year, I did this on this. This year, I'm doing this on this. This is my San Juan 24 I purchased in March. It's built by the Clark Boat Company in Kent, Washington in 1976. It has a beam of 8 feet and it draws 4 feet of water. Now I'll give you a little tour.
We are in Tangerine's cockpit. Pretty standard, basic tiller setup here. Actually have a real nice tiller. Mom made an extra cover for me because with the extra space I added the tiller tamer on here so that when I'm single-handed I can at least point into the wind and get a couple minutes of straight travel while we get the sails raised. Oh, we had Hawaiian nights the other night on Friday night races, little remnants of that. We're powered by an 8-horse 4-stroke Yamaha. It's run absolutely flawlessly. It's been just a really great motor. I think it's a 2004 or 2005. But again, it runs just awesome. First pull every time. It's been a phenomenal addition. I changed the VHF antenna. The one that was on the boat originally was cracked, so I went ahead and replaced it with a smaller version. It did have the big whip on it. Other things, we've gotten the compass, and I call it the helometer. I don't exactly know what it's called, but that's what we call it. And then the winch handle. And then we'll go down into the cabin area. I do have shore power, which is really nice. The boat was already set up with shore power. So I have a battery bank under here that has two. They're just the regular lead acid batteries. I got 2 of them that are in parallel, so I have about 200 milliamp hours. Yes, I know that's an automotive battery tender, but the marine ones, as everybody knows, are way more expensive, and this one works just great. I've never had any problems with power. I've only been out for 2 overnighters. So actually, this 4th of July being on the buoy will give us a little opportunity to see how it goes. I have replaced all of the electronics in the boat. I've got a new switch bank or circuit bank. It's really kind of nice. New VHF radio that I installed the same time I installed the antenna. The chart plotter came with the boat. It's been really great. I've updated it a couple times with software and firmware. So it's been great use for both racing on Friday nights. Fun, I call it racing. It's more learning than racing, but yeah, it's been really great. So we have the table here. When I got the boat, the table was pretty unsecure. It would wobble around and unlatch itself. So I've secured that, so it's really nice. Put 2 new brackets in there. So that's really good. Over here we have the galley. Ooh, don't blink. But in the galley section, we've got a sink. The valves, you probably can't see it, but the valves are pretty old. They're originals. I pretty much have it shut off. It looks good and everything, and it actually works, but I'm not real confident in it, so we just keep it closed. And also we found out on about a 30-degree heel to starboard, it actually would allow water to come up in here and then fill up some sections of this. Not fill up, we got some water, and we had to track it down and find out where the water was coming from, and it was actually coming through that valve and through that area. It does have a 2-burner alcohol stove under here. I need to clean that up, but it doesn't work. We don't use it. I've got a propane, not a propane, but a cartridge type stove that I use, and just use it out on the back deck, as well as I do have a barbecue out there that's in really good shape, but I've never haven't had an opportunity to use that yet. Hopefully we will soon. They replaced the chain plates on the boat. This is kind of the one known thing about San Juans, is they had some problems with the starboard chain plate. The previous owner, being that he raced the boats quite often, had replaced that. What they did is here there's supposed to be a panel that has 2 loops or 2 circulars in it, so you can put stuff in there and it won't come flying out. A buddy of mine does carpentry work, and he's going to come down and give me a hand with replacing that at some point. And then we have the V-berth. I do have really nice cushions. They're just like this. but they are they're out of the boat right now. Will bring it down if I spend the night on the boat anytime over the 4th of July weekend. The monster dinghy is just awesome. I don't think it's ever been used. It's in the package. It's kind of old, but it's kind of thick, so we'll pump it up and see what happens. There's our life jackets. We always wear those when we're on board, especially today. I'll be wearing mine because I'll be single-handing Tangerine while we're out there. I've got the Storb Genoa. It's a 105. Really small, but I've got it set up on the Hank system, which I changed over from a foil system. And then that says a number 2 sail, and I believe that is a number 2 sail in there right now. It's a 135. And what's on the boat that we use for racing is the 155, and I have the 169 that is in the Mylar 169 Racing that we've only used once, the one night on the storm night, and again we tore a lot of the luff tape on that. It's been repaired. Getting ready to try it. Just haven't had an opportunity to get it back on the boat yet. So that's pretty much the tour here. Oh, this panel here does lift up, comes up, and there is a porta potty for emergencies on board. My wife asked about that this morning. So yeah, we have that, and it is there and ready to use if necessary. Other than that, storage is really good. Got storage underneath both the seat compartments here. We do have this coffin, we call it the coffin berth. Do have a cushion, a full cushion that goes down through there. So it's actually pretty comfortable sleeping. This area down here, you got the heater and the stove are down there, and extra storage. The table does fold down, come down onto this lip in this area and this area. And it does allow for a nice bed surface here. When we brought the boat down from Bellingham, this is where Scott slept here. I slept in the V berth, very comfortable. 2 people, no problem whatsoever. 3 people, as long as they're not claustrophobic. The 3rd person could sleep in that section, goes underneath the cockpit without any problem whatsoever. So that's pretty much Tangerine. So we'll go on deck and I'll give you a little tour on deck and show you what's happening up there, the things we've learned and discovered since I've owned the boat. So we'll come out here, let the camera refocus. I do have a pretty decent cover for the mainsail. We weren't sure it was going to fit because we went from a slug system. We added slugs to the mainsail so that I can single-hand it and again bring all the cables back to the cockpit for single-handed. Up front here we have the Genoa. Oh, looks like I got attacked by a bird last night, and take care of that. Got the jib halyard here. My mom was very gracious enough to make me a nice bag for storage, so we keep whatever sail we're gonna use right up there. Keep it up off the deck so it keeps out of the moisture. But I think it's a pretty good system. I got a really nice spinnaker pole that came with the boat. Again, the only time we've raised the spinnaker is we did it at the dock one night with no wind, just to see how it went and made sure all the connections and everything were good. But they were, so it's ready to try out whenever I get an opportunity to do so. Okay, well, I'm going to prepare the boat, get ready to get underway. Got to go over to the fuel dock and get some fuel, make sure that we've got enough. Always better to have more fuel than less fuel. I didn't show you the storage cockpit where we keep the fuel. The previous owner did a really nice job setting up the area to hold fuel. Added the breathers here and on the end. So we've got, I always carry an auxiliary 6-gallon can here, and then we have the 3-gallon can that goes up through, goes down the port side and in there. Always have the fend off pole, and then we store the fenders and everything else in here as well, and the hull brush. Okay, well, oh yeah, we got cup holders we ordered from Amazon. I'll show you those. They're really kind of cool. They swivel and tilt, so they've been a good addition. I got one on the stern and one up here. My good buddy Mike that races with me said, you know, he wasn't going to come out anymore unless I got someplace to hold his beverage for him, so took care of that.
Thank you for visiting Upwind Adventures. We hope to see you back, and we'll share more of our fun adventures out in the Pacific Northwest.
Welcome home!